we are going to start with today's lecture. In the meanwhile, rest of the students are joining, so I will answer Abhinav's question. So in case, okay, so we deal with this case under the method of undetermined coefficients. We have already done the exponential one, and then we have done the trigonometric functions, right? So in trigonometric, it can be like some k times cos bx or some constant times sine bx. So in this case, when your function is of this type, or it is a sum of this, say k1 cos bx plus k2 sine bx. If your Rx is belonging to any of these categories, in that case, I told you what Yx you have to choose is a times cos bx plus b times sine bx. Whatever cos 2x, 3x, whatever is occurring here, you have to take always as sum of these two terms. Now to answer your question, that when you have to multiply with x, so that for that you have to look at the solution of the homogeneous differential equation, the general solution of the homogeneous differential equation, right? So this coefficient which is here, if this is occurring there, like for example, the general solution be, because you have already solved a homogeneous differential equation, if the homogeneous differential equation solution is like say c1 cos 2x plus c2 sine 2x, and suppose rx is of the type 3 sine 2x, say rx is of this type, so then you can see your this multiplicity of x you see in the angle, this is 2 and this is 2, so this sine 2x is actually occurring as one of the terms explicitly, you can see that term explicitly present in the general solution. That means this solution is obtainable, Rx is obtainable from the general solution by giving arbitrary values to the constants. In that case, your choice of Yx will be x times a cos 2x plus b sine 2x, right? So for trigonometric functions, you always just have to see this, that whatever multiplicity of angle is present in the right hand side in your Rx function, that should not be same. If this would have been c1 cos 3x plus c2 sine 3x, and on right hand side you have 2x, so then you don't need to multiply with x. Okay, so that should not matching. And I explained you there will be no case when you will be needing to multiply with x square in the trigonometric one. In this one we had, but in this we don't have. So now we are moving towards the third case. We are left with two more cases. We'll quickly cover them and then we will move to the next method. So I'll suggest you to hold on your doubts, and then we will see in the end. Okay, so case 3, when your Rx is polynomial in X, right? So how does polynomial looks like? So like a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus an x raised to power n. So it's some polynomial in X of nth degree, whatever degree can be there. So in this case, I'm directly going to tell you what should be the assumption of Yx, right? So again, I will tell you there is a proof done in the book, but why this choice is coming? So you can see the book. So there are two choices of Yx in this case, depending upon what your solution of general solution of homogeneous differential equation looks like. So let me write it in this way. So sub case 1, when there is y term present on left hand side. Now what is your underlying fundamental equation of second order is y double dash plus py dash plus qy is rx. This is the non-homogeneous differential equation we are talking about, which we have considered to solve, right? So what I'm telling you, that when while your Rx is polynomial, in that case, what Yx you have to choose. So only one thing you have to see. Like for exponential, I told you, you have to see the roots of the auxiliary equation, whether it is a single root or it is a double root. For trigonometric, what you have to see, whether you have to multiply with x or not. So that also I explained to you. So when it is a polynomial, in that case, what you have to just look at one particular thing, and that is just this term, right? if there is y term present, means there is some q is non-zero, right? In that case, your choice of yx is directly a naught plus a1x plus a2x square plus an x raised to power n. So it's a complete polynomial. Obviously, you will choose your own coefficients. So these a naught, a1, capital A naught, a1, a2, these are going to be your undetermined coefficients. And in other case, if q is 0, q means this term, so there is no y term present on the left hand side. In that case, your choice of yx is going to be like this. It's, you have to multiply with x in that case, right? So that's the only thing you have to remember for this case. Y term is present, directly take it. No y term is present, multiply with x. This is what you have to remember. So let's just do one example for the same. The things will be clear. This is the easiest case actually, the polynomial one. Not many things you have to look at. Okay, so let's solve this equation. Y double dash minus 2y dash plus 5y is x square plus 3. So you immediately recognize that what method you are going to apply, method of undetermined coefficients, because on left hand side, what you have is the constant coefficient. On the right hand side you have a rx which falls into the category of polynomial. So I'm quickly giving you the solution of homogeneous differential equation. So homogeneous differential equation, auxiliary equation will be this, and its roots are going to be 1 plus minus 2 iota. So the general solution on left hand side is going to be e raised to power x c1 cos 2x plus c2 sin 2x. This is the general solution of the homogeneous differential equation. Now for non-homogeneous differential equation, you have to assume the particular solution. So that is denoted by capital Y. So what I am supposing to see that, okay, what is my Rx type? This is a polynomial. So when I have a polynomial, the only thing I have to see is the left hand side, whether there is y term present or not. So you see there is a non-zero y term present. I mean, this is 5 times y. Y is appearing there. Its coefficient is non-zero. So in this case, my choice of yx is going to be a quadratic polynomial. Like I shown you here that whatever is your Rx, if it is a degree of polynomial of n degree, your yx is also going to be a degree, your also yx is also going to be a polynomial of the same degree, right? X raised to power n. So here we will be choosing a general quadratic second degree polynomial. So this should be my assumption. And now you don't get confused that there is no x term here, right? It has nothing to do. You just need to look at the degree of the polynomial. There may be some terms absent, there might not be the constant term present, but you just have to look at the leading power. So the highest power is 2. So here I have to suppose a general quadratic equation as my solution. So these a naught, a1, a2 are your undetermined coefficients. And now we know the process. Once you assume your yx, what you have to do is compute y dash and y double dash. So it's easy. Y dash is going to be a1 plus 2a2x, and y double dash is going to be 2a2. So you put these values in the original differential equation. You are going to get 2a2 minus 2a1 minus 4a2x square plus 5 times a naught, 5 times a1x, 5 times a2x square. So I put the value of y double dash. This is minus 2 times y dash. So this is y dash, and this is 5 times y is equal to x square plus 3. So after this, what you have to do is to recollect the coefficients, because on right hand side you are going to have basically 3 terms. Actually this is x square plus 0 times x plus 3. So there is one constant term, there is one term having coefficient of x, and there is one term having coefficient of x square. So on left hand side also you have to segregate constant term, coefficient of x, and coefficient of x square, right? That is why we choose it of the same degree. So you will have equal number of terms. So you'll have 3 undetermined coefficients and 3 equations to solve, and you will get your answer, right? So that's why it's always same degree. So what I'm going to do, what is the constant term on left hand side? You can see the constant term is 2a2 minus 2a1 plus 5a0. These three are occurring as a constant term. So I'm going to write what is the first equation I'm going to get. 2a2 minus 2a1 plus 5 times a0. Okay, yeah, this is x, not x square. Yeah, that was a mistake. I corrected. Yes, thank you. Okay, so yeah, constant term is 2a2 minus 2a1 plus 5a0. What is the constant term on right hand side? This is 3. So comparing constant terms on both the sides, left and right, I get my first equation. Now I'm going to compare the coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x? Minus 4a2 plus 5a1. So minus 4a2 plus 5a1. And what is the coefficient of x on the right hand side? 0, because there was no x term present. So it will be 0. And then I'm looking at coefficient of x square. So there is only one term of x square. So this is 5a2 is 1, because you see 5a2, this is 1. So from here, now what you get here? System of a linear system of three equations with three unknowns. So everybody can solve that and get to know the values of a0, a1 and a2. So the polynomial case, as you can see, is the simplest one. You just need to compare the coefficients, solve the equations and get the values. So I'm directly writing the values which I got. You can very easily verify. A2 is 1 by 5. A1 is 4 by 25 and A0 is 73 by 25. So when I get that, so the particular solution is the constant term plus A1x plus A2x square. So my general solution of non-homogeneous differential equation is e raised to power x c1 cos 2x plus c2 sin 2x. This is the general solution of homogeneous plus this particular solution, right? So that is the complete answer to this question. Right. Okay, if you're looking at the calculation mistake, I don't know, I done it hurriedly. You can verify the calculations. I am getting the value of A0 to be 73 by 25, not 73 by 125. You can verify it yourself. Those who are getting it that it is something else, you try it and then you get to know, right? Okay, so that's all about this particular question by the polynomial case. So now the other case, I told you there will be two cases. This case example we have done. There is other case in which case there will be no y term on the left hand side. In that case, you have to multiply with x. So that example I am not going to be taking explicitly. That example I will take as a part of the, you know, some other example. So let me take the other example. Okay, I'll come back to the question again in case meanwhile you can figure out. You can leave this and verify your calculations later. Let's just move to the next question. There might be some mistake. I can see that again. So let me take the case fourth. So case fourth is Rx is k times e raised to power ax sine bx, or k times e raised to power ax cos bx, or k1 times e raised to power ax sine bx plus k2 times e raised to power ax cos bx. So you see what is the difference in this kind of Rx. So the first was only exponential, the second case was only trigonometric, the third was polynomial, while the fourth case of Rx we are taking is the product of two different functions, right? One is exponential, one is sine. It's a product which I have assumed, e raised to power x into sine bx. So if you have this kind of Rx, in that case, what choice of yx you have to assume? So in this case, the choice of particular solution is going to be a linear combination of the two terms, right? So whether e raised to power ax sine bx is present, or this is present, or there's sum, you have to take it like this. Both sine and cos term will come with multiplication with the same coefficient. Okay, and in this case also there will be a possibility of that when you have to multiply with x. So when you are going to multiply with x, so you know the reason that in what case you will be multiplying with x, that if the term, which term, either e raised to power x sine bx or e raised to power x cos bx explicitly appears on in the solution of homogeneous differential equation. Just like in the beginning I told you that if this cos 2x sine 2x is matching with the rx function, the angle multiplicity is matching, in that case you have to multiply with x. Same is here. So in this kind of question also, if the term explicitly is appearing as solution of the homogeneous differential equation explicitly, then you have to multiply with x. But this is going to happen in very very rare examples, because these kind of these kind of questions will be there when we are going to have the complex roots, right? So let me just take a very simple example for the same. Okay, so let me take this example: y double dash minus 2y dash e raised to power x sine x plus x, right? Y double dash minus 2y dash is e raised to power x into sine x plus x. So very quickly, homogeneous differential equation is y double dash minus 2y dash is 0. Auxiliary equation is m square minus 2m is 0. Two roots are there, 0 and 2. So the general solution is c1 into e raised to power 0x, c2 into e raised to power 2x, because we know that the repeated roots. It's real and distinct roots, so you will have two terms. So C1 plus C2 e raised to power 2x. So this is a general solution. Now you look at your Rx. So when you're trying to solve non-homogeneous differential equation, my Rx is e raised to power x sine x plus x. So this is a combination of two terms, right? Where this part is going to be counted in the polynomial category, and this part is going to be counted in the case number fourth, which I just introduced you, right? E raised to power ax sine bx, this type. Okay, so this kind of example, if you remember, we also did in the previous lecture, where we had say cos x plus e raised to power x. So when they are appearing as independent terms, like one is counted in the exponential, one is counted in the trigonometric, and then you can solve by their individually and then add, or in general also I told you how to assume the solution. But here it's of the similar category, one is the polynomial type, one is this type. So that means your yx will be sum of y1x plus y2x, where y1x decision will be according to this and y2x will be decided according to this. So let's first decide y1x. So y1x is, now this is e raised to power x into sine x. So in this case it is a e raised to power ax, sorry, x into sine x plus b into e raised to power x cos x. This is according to this, which I just told you, that this is how you have to take your particular solution assumption. Okay, e raised to power x sine x plus b raised by e raised to power x cos x. If you are doubtful that whether we have to multiply with x or not, only thing you have to see whether this or this term or both of them, whether are they appearing in the general solution of homogeneous differential equation or not. You can see they are not appearing. This is completely different. These terms are completely different. These are not explicitly part of the general solution of homogeneous. Therefore, you will not multiply with x, right? So this is about y1. Now plus y2. So this y2 will be according to the this, and this is what a polynomial of degree 1. Now when you have to take polynomial, so let me go back to the slide where I told you about the polynomial. So for polynomial I told you two cases, that when there is y term present, it is directly the same polynomial of the same degree we have to assume, and when there is no y term on left hand side, then you have to multiply with x. So let's see in that example what is there, whether there is a y term present or y term absent. So the y term present example I have already done, this example, And in this example, which now I am considering, you can see on the left hand side, there is no y term present. Since there is no y term present, so I will assume a linear polynomial because it's a x raised to power 1. So the general assumption of y will be a naught plus a1x, and then I will be multiplying with x because of the reason there is no y term present on the left hand side. Right. So this is those who are asking me, there is ax or bx. It's not about a b. This a and b which I write is general. This is coming from here, that whatever a raised to power ax and sine bx is coming here in rx, the same a and b you have to take. So in our case, we have its e raised to power x sine x. So your a is also 1, your b is also 1. So that's why y1 is e raised to power x sine x. You don't have to introduce a, b in the powers or as a coefficients. That is written just to tell you theoretically. All what you need to remember is whatever is here, the same type you have to take. Just take the general combination of sine and cosine term and the coefficients. So you see, I hope this is clear up to here, that it was sum of two terms. The Rx was sum of two terms. First was this category, second was the other category, and we chose it that way. Okay, so once you choose your yx, after that, you know the maths is there. You compute y dash, y double dash, and then you solve it. So I'm writing down, this is a big function, yx, which you have assumed. It has 4 undetermined coefficients. So I'm writing down y dash. So y dash is a e raised to power cos x plus e raised to power x sin x. So obviously you can see from here, this, when you will be differentiating, there will be product rule used. Similarly here, there will be product rule used. So I'm writing those terms, plus b minus e raised to power x sin x plus e raised to power x cos x plus a naught plus 2a1x, because this part is a naught x plus a1 x square. So when you will differentiate this one, this will be a naught plus 2a1 into x. So that I've written. And then y double dash will be, so there will be two terms further. Using the product rule, you will have e raised to power plus e raised to power x cos x plus e raised to power x sin x plus e raised to power x cos x plus b times, right? So you can verify these calculations later. I'm just telling you these, plus 2a1. So from here you can see terms are getting cancelled automatically. So you get y dash and y double dash. So you put the value of y dash, y double dash in your given equation, the original equation, the differential equation, this one. So when we'll be doing that substitution, you are going to get 2a e raised to power x cos x minus 2b e raised to power x sin x plus 2a1 minus 2a e raised to power x cos x minus 2a e raised to power x sin x plus 2b this minus 2b minus 2a naught minus 4a1x is e raised to power x sin x plus x. Yes, Ishan, you have a doubt?
मैम वो जो वाई एक्स वाली टर्म है जिसमें पॉलिनोमियल आ रहा है,
हम्म
तो हमने उसमें लिखा है कि एक्स इंटू ए नॉट प्लस ए वन एक्स, तो एक्स मल्टीप्लाई कब करते थे, एक बार दोबारा बताओ तो प्लीज।
एक्स मल्टीप्लाई इसमें इजी है, पॉलिनोमियल में सिर्फ इतना देखना है आपको, इफ देर इज अ वाई टर्म प्रेजेंट ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड। वाई टर्म मीन्स ओरिजिनली 3 टर्म्स होती है ना, वाई, वाई डैश, वाई डबल डैश। सो वाई वाली टर्म कई बार प्रेजेंट नहीं हो सकती है, मीन्स वाई का कोएफिशिएंट आपको देखना है। अगर वाई टर्म नहीं है वहां पे, देन यू हैव टू मल्टीप्लाई विद एक्स। अगर एक्सप्लिसिटली नॉन जीरो वाई टर्म है, देन यू डोंट नीड टू मल्टीप्लाई विद एक्स। इज इट क्लियर? सिर्फ वाई टर्म को देखना है। जैसे इस एग्जांपल में वाई टर्म प्रेजेंट था, तो ये राइट हैंड साइड पे क्या था, एक्स स्क्वायर मीन्स सेकेंड ऑर्डर पॉलिनोमियल, सेकेंड डिग्री पॉलिनोमियल था. तो माई चॉइस ऑफ वाई एक्स वॉज ए नॉट प्लस ए वन एक्स प्लस ए टू एक्स स्क्वायर. I did not multiply with x because there was a y term present. But in this example, if you look at the left hand side of your differential equation, there is no y term present. There are only two terms, y dash and y double dash. There is no y term present. So in that case, whatever polynomial is here, it can be a second degree, third degree, whatever degree it can be. After assuming it to be of the general type, then I have to further multiply with x. Is that clear? Yes, Ishan, is that clear? Okay. Yes, anybody else had doubt, Abhinav?
No, ma'am, no doubt.
Okay, so let me just go ahead with the calculation. So once you will reach this step, so you will see further terms cancelling out. So this is all your practice, obviously. More accuracy will be there if you will practice these questions often, because this was a big yx, so obviously the number of terms are occurring to be big. So now you see that on the right hand side I have two terms. One is e raised to power x sin x, one is x. So on left hand side I have to recollect these terms. So where is e raised to power x sin x? It is this term only, the other one has been cancelled. So its coefficient is minus 2a. So its coefficient is 1. So I'll get minus 2a is 1. So I'll get a is minus half. And there is other term which is x. This is here. So the coefficient is minus 4a1. So minus 4a1 is 1. So a1 is minus 1 by 4. And rest of the terms, there is no other term on the right hand side. So that means this term, this is just a constant term. So this has to be 0 because there is no constant term on the right hand side. So that means it has to be 0. And similarly, this term, there is no term on the right hand side with the coefficient e raised to power x cos x, as you can see. There is no term with the coefficient e raised to power x cos x, but it is there on the left hand side. So that means this coefficient also will be 0. So minus 2b is 0. So this gives me b is 0 and this gives me a naught is same as a1. So a naught is also minus 1 by 4. Right? So I got a naught and a1 and b. The four undetermined coefficients, I got the values. Putting them into the solution, I will get y. My particular solution will be minus half e raised to power x sin x minus 1 by 4 x into 1 plus x, and then total y is going to be this, where general solution is this one, c1 plus c2 e raised to power 2x plus this y which I have written here. So this is your final solution. So this example was, a combination of many cases in which everything is covered. That whether you have, when you have your Rx to be of more than one type, like there are two terms present, one is falling into one category, other is falling into other category. In that case, your yx is going to be sum of these two, and individually you have to make a decision. So we have covered all the cases now of this method of undetermined coefficients. So now we would like to point out few limitations, right? What are the limitations we have? So the limitations, although I told you in the beginning, what are the limitations of the method of variation of parameters? Yes, can anybody write down the answer or know the answer to this? Yeah, with the first one which I told you, that this is not a universal technique or this is not a general technique. It had the limitations. That one limitation was, if you remember, this was our general type. This was just bear with me. Sometimes I am using small pqr, sometimes I'm using capital pqr, but it's one and the same thing, right? So this is our general second order differential equation looks like, in which if px and qx are constants, If they are constants, so then we have equations like this, that okay, Rx is there, but P and Q are constant. So first limitation is this, that is the method of undetermined coefficients applies to this case, that they have to be constants. You can see all the examples which we have done, all of them are constants on the left hand side. And second limitation is that Rx should be a specific type. Now we know what specific type. So it was the polynomial, exponential, trigonometric, and the last case which we have just done is a product of exponential and the trigonometric one. So if the Rx falls into any of these four categories, only then we will be able to apply the method of undetermined coefficients, otherwise not applicable. So this suggests that we need a new method which is more general and it has no such limitations. So the name of that method is method of variation of parameters, right? So it's called variation of parameters, not method of variation of parameters. This one is known as method of undetermined coefficient. This is variation of parameters. So I'll just give you a brief idea how this method works, right? Okay, just a minute. Uh, okay, one thing, I'm getting a message that this meeting will finish in few minutes. Okay, if this meetings get finished, then you rejoin through the same link, right? I'm telling you in advance, I think there is some version technical problem with the upgradation of the Zoom account. If this meeting finishes, you immediately click on the same link which I shared and the meeting will start again. Okay, so the right now I'm working on, I'm introducing you to this method, variation of parameters. This is the last topic of our chapter, differential equations, right? Okay, so the technique is, the method is again to, for the same reason, that we need to find the particular solution of non-homogeneous differential equation. Okay, so I'm telling you directly, I'm telling you the formula, and the derivation is given in the book. You can see from there. So you have this type differential equation. So you see, I have written now Px and Qx. So that means they are allowed to be variables. We know that we already know how to find the general solution of homogeneous differential equation. This is something we already know. Homogeneous differential equation, how to find a general solution. So once you have the general solution of homogeneous differential equation, then the particular solution of equation number 1, which we denote by capital Y, is given by this v1x into y1x plus v2x into y2x, where v1x is negative of integral of y2x into rx w y1 y2 dx, and v2x is integral of y1x rx w y1 y2 dx. So you need to remember this formula. This has been derived. The fundamental of its derivation is the same, that if you want to derive and you want to try, okay, from where this formula is coming, so you can try it yourself, that by this choice of y, you find y dash, you find y double dash, and put them into the non-homogeneous differential equation. From there you will get the values, and so it's a detailed derivation. So that's why we have skipped that. So directly you need to remember this. So now why it is known as variation of parameters? As you can see, what is the kind of yx we are assuming? It is independent of rx. We are no longer looking at rx, that if rx is of this type, then yx will be of this type. Okay, so the information of rx is contained here, but the choice is general. And what we are doing is basically y1x, y1x, y2x, y2x. We retain that it is of the same type, but assume that the particular solution is the same type as the general solution of homogeneous. The difference being that these are the parameters, these are the constants. C1 and C2 are arbitrary constants. These constants are replaced by the functions. C1 is replaced by a function, C2 is replaced by function. So basically this V1 and V2 become your unknown functions. We just assume that there is some V1 and there is some V2 and your Yx looks like this. So V1 is this and V2 is this. So the difference is these are constants, these are functions. So then they derive it and figure out that this is the value of V1 and this is the value of V2. So this you see all the information is known to you. You know Y2, you know Rx, Rx is here, Y2 is here. You know Y1, you know Rx, Y1 is here. So only thing which you do not know is the denominator. Can anybody tell what is this W denoting? We have already done this notation. Wronskian, yes, this is the Wronskian. So this is the Wronskian of Y1 and Y2. So is it okay to divide with the Wronskian? What is the guarantee that Wronskian is always going to be non-zero? Again, a question I'm asking you, we should know the answer. That obviously this should be non-zero, but what is that assumption which is telling me this should be non-zero? Because we know that जो जनरल सॉल्यूशन में y1 और y2 हम लिखते हैं होमोजेनियस डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन के, they are linearly independent. So because they are linearly independent, so hence we will never have trouble that what if the Wronskian becomes zero? The Wronskian is never going to become zero. It's always going to be a non-zero quantity. So once you have this, and then you can do the calculation and get to know your answer. So this method is having the advantage over the undetermined coefficients, that as you see, you will see in the question that the calculations will be little, you can say difficult or complex, but it's very general technique. You do not have to look at anything, directly apply this technique. It will solve all kind of questions. So now let me take the example for the same. Okay, so this is the first example we are taking. Y double dash plus 4y is 3 cosecant x. Yes, Uday.
मैम इसके अंदर yg जो था वो हमने c1 y1 प्लस c2 y2 लिया था मैम, लेकिन अगर और टाइप के m की अगर मैम रूट्स अलग अलग है तो yg तो अलग अलग आ रहा था, तो उन केसेस में हमें नहीं करना?
नहीं, वो इसी में कवर हो गया ना. अगर रूट